There's this YouTube channel called Danny Jones. Never heard of him before. He has this guy on. You don't know him. He is the founder of the Proud Boys, no longer the leader, Gavin McInnes. And he also created Vice News for real. Also no longer involved in Vice News. But he goes on this channel, Danny Jones, to talk to this dude about whatever. First 3 minutes, they're talking about gas chambers. I have no idea how they got there, but let's find out. While we listen, we're going to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Just be in the background, won't bother you too much. You never played.
Is that true? Do black people think that the Holocaust didn't happen?
I don't think most black people care.
Oh, I think
black people are probably 90% of black people have a very negative view of Jews.
Really? Well, especially Kanye. He's one of them. I actually know he just took it back the other day.
Oh my God. No, he didn't take it back. He keeps going back and forth to kind of defend himself or whatever. It's a joke. He's such a scumbag, dude. Kanye West. And I understand he can't really perform in Europe anymore because people don't want anything to do with that. Like, European theaters will not invite him in for fear he'll say something incredibly illegal and they will have liability for it. A good decision on their part not to invite him or whatever, right? Or not to allow him to speak or play his songs or whatever. Isn't Vice like super left wing? I don't think so. No, not super left wing, but they are left wing. He was a co-founder with a couple of other people. And this is back in the 90s before he was completely out of his head drunk on insanity juice, to my understanding. And since then he's kind of chill. Like since then he left Vice News and he's just been kind of doing his own thing. Vice News been doing their own thing. So yeah.
I saw that you tried to talk him off the ledge. You interviewed him and tried to convince him not to be an anti-Semite.
Yeah, that went great.
No, I don't think he tried to convince him not to be an anti-Semite. I think he tried to convince him that the problem in society isn't the Jews, it's people to the left of hunting immigrants for sport. That's the issue.
It was a smash hit.
I couldn't get past the first 10 minutes.
Oh, I watched the whole thing on my channel if you guys want to see it. It was fascinating. And Gavin McInnes, he tried to get people to stop talking about it. Like, he was giving people like content claims and stuff on YouTube and Twitch. It was this meeting or whatever.
This sort of ethnomasochistic cultural suicide tend not really to be Jewish. I call them ginos, Jews in name only.
Awful name, by the way.
It's liberal elite whites you should have a beef with.
Yeah, but I lump them all in together. That's what I did. That's
good.
That's why the tweet said that, Jewish people.
Okay, but this trait, like, you know, blacks are overrepresented in violent crime. But when you meet an individual black person, you don't apply that. You start with a fresh slate every time you meet someone. Do you do that with Jews?
Nope.
This intervention isn't going very well.
The point is that the guy is just depraved and knows that what he's saying and doing is psychotic and fucked up and pointless. But he just fucking hates this group of people, so he's going to say that he hates these people, and he knows that there's no basis for it or no logic behind it, but again, he does not care. That's the interview they were talking about.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
It's a good interview. You should watch it. It's funny.
Have you ever heard? I was just talking to.
Are we live? Yeah. I mean, are we recording?
We're recording.
Okay,
yeah,
this is it. This is the show.
Yeah, this is a show.
Okay.
There's this dude. There's this documentary that Hamilton Morris's dad did called Mr. Death. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
That rings a bell. Yeah.
It's a film about a guy who his dad worked for the Bureau of Prisons, and the electric chair broke, and they needed somebody to fix the electric chair. So they told this guy's dad, like, go find some electrician to fix the electric chair so we can keep killing people or whatever, because we don't have much time. And he took.
Okay, is this a real story? I don't know who this guy is or what his political positions are, but I'm a little suspect here.
Took it home, and then his kid, his like teenage kid, was tinkering around in the garage and like fixed it, unbeknownst to him. And he came downstairs, he's like, "Dad, I fixed the electric chair." And they brought it back to the prison, and it worked. And then the prison's like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. We want to hire your son to fix all the electric chairs across the country."
Well, I'm sure that they decided to get the kid to fix it because nobody else would fix it. It's like the drugs that they use to do capital punishment, you know, the injection drugs that they use to kill people. They can't get those drugs because no pharmaceutical company wants to be associated with that shit. No one wants to have their brand connected to it. You know, the best way to take somebody out for the death penalty, really, is inject them with fentanyl. Just give them fentanyl. But the company that makes fentanyl, they refuse. Fentanyl is really the best way because you just go to sleep. It's just a quiet sleep. You go to sleep and just kind of stop breathing, and that's the end of it. But they don't want to be like, they don't want their medicine used in that way because they don't want to be associated with it. I don't think that the creators even give a shit about the death penalty. I think they give a shit about how it looks over anything. Taiwan goes with bullet to the heart. Oh, dude, that's awful. That's slow and painful.
And then eventually they started hiring him to develop new ways to execute people that weren't like, because a lot of people were getting electrocuted and not dying. They were just like getting turned into vegetables. And then he eventually invented gas chambers. Then he developed.
What year is this?
I don't know. You'd have to look it up.
Like pre-World War II or recently?
No, this is not. This is after World War II. I want to say.
I don't know which specific thing he's referring to, but the gas chambers in World War II, they started out as like mobile vans. Basically, they would pipe the exhaust into the windows and they would lock people in, and they would they would keep them in there until they died, and they timed it to see how long it would take. The answer is about 20 minutes. They would just go to sleep and then it would be over. And in all honesty, like just going to sleep quietly and slowly isn't awful. The drugs that they use for capital punishment today in the US are horrific. You don't just quietly go to sleep. It's awful. Anyway, eventually I don't think they invented Zyklon B for this. I think it was a pesticide, but they discovered that it could be used for this, and it's pellets. Zyklon B. It's this pesticide that's this little pellet, and when it gets warm, like 80 degrees, if the room is 80 degrees or even like 75, the pellets they off gas. I think it's called they sublime. They turn from a solid to a gas, and that gas kills you when you breathe it in. So they would drop the pellets in through like, you know, what appeared to be little shower things on the walls. Again, I studied this because I wrote a book about it, about World War II. Was Hitler an atheist? Anyway, that's what the whole Zyklon B thing was. That was the gas chambers and everything. And in the wintertime, they had to actually have heaters in there because it wouldn't heat up enough. It was too cold in there for the Zyklon B pellets to turn to gas, to sublime. Most of the time, though, the people could just sit in there in the room and their collective body heat would warm the place up enough that it would eventually like sublime. So firing squad isn't as effective or efficient and may still miss, and they're aiming for the heart. Yep. That's true. And you're probably going to be bleeding out for a while too afterward. People don't realize this because when you're shot in the heart in movies, you die. But getting shot in the heart in real life takes a long time. A long time. Like 10 minutes of you writhing and rolling around on the floor in pain while your blood drains out of your body, knowing that you're dying. Getting shot in the heart is not fun and not something that people would want to do normally. We're going to book on the death penalty right now. Okay, interesting. Need someone to vent to occasionally, right? some benzo before fentanyl and you won't care. Yeah, absolutely. That would be fine. And also taking benzo and taking like Xanax and Percocet together is incredibly dangerous. It will kill your ass. It's dangerous because because they change your blood pressure in different ways, if I remember correctly. You really should not be taking them together.
Okay, this is in like the 70s.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but it's right around there. And then he invented the lethal injection stuff and all these crazy ways of executing people. And they called him, well, the name of the documentary is Mr. Death. And eventually there's this guy, I'm sure you're familiar with him, Zundel. This guy who went
Holocaust
through
denier?
the Holocaust denier.
Yeah.
So Zundel.
Wait, that's interesting. Is this dude, what's his name? Is Gavin McInnes a Holocaust denier, I'm wondering? I was under the impression that he was a Holocaust denier. It's interesting that he would call somebody else a Holocaust denier like that, though. There we go. Jesus, I could not for the life of me find where I was supposed to go. Nitrogen gas is a new thing for Louisiana and Alabama. Technically supposed to be pain-free and simple, but experience is different. Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. I've heard that carbon dioxide is the thing that makes you feel like you're suffocating. Carbon dioxide buildup in your body. You feel like you need to take a deep breath if you have too much carbon dioxide in your blood. But nitrogen doesn't affect you that way because the air is like 80% nitrogen or something. But yeah, like Real Pumpkin J here said, it doesn't always work out that way exactly. It's not always the better way to do it. Experience, practice, and theory don't always line up.
Found out about this guy and found out he was building gas chambers for the prisons and used him and convinced him to testify for him in court to prove that the gas chambers in Auschwitz and all across Germany and Poland.
Really diving into it.
Yeah. And convinced them and use him as like an expert witness who had no training in any of this shit and just figured it out as he was going.
Interesting.
That they didn't work. There's no way those gas chambers would have worked.
That's just complete nonsense. Wow. This guy is claiming the gas chambers wouldn't have worked. Wait, is that what this is? Is the dude that we're listening to right now making that claim, or I can't tell. Like I said, Zyklon B gas chambers worked by basically by dropping pellets into the wall. And those pellets kind of turned into a gas over time with heat.
Anyways, it's
so
just
before we started the show, I was doing a joke about saying the most offensive thing possible.
Yes.
And using the N-word and Holocaust. But here on the live show, or the real show, we're actually discussing whether the Holocaust happened or not in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, isn't that good?
3 minutes, actually, but yes.
I think it's right. I think it's right on brand.
I don't mind.
So, anyways, that was a crazy documentary. You should watch it.
Okay.
So I guess these guys are Holocaust deniers then, right? There's no question. Nobody has ever made any claims or questions or whatever about whether Zyklon B pellets can turn into a gas. It's just complete nonsense. And it's really, really disgusting, vile, fucked up stuff that people would be making claims like this in the first place. What's wrong with these two guys? Seriously. There's no discussion. It happened. There are pictures and tons of witnesses. Yeah. The only reason that anybody would ever have any questions about this is because they're trying to spread the idea that Jews are, controlling things and pulling strings and all this. It's just a joke.
I mean, are we now discussing the Holocaust, whether it happened or not?
No, it was just an anecdotal thing. I thought you might find interesting.
Kind of that's like talking about whether your mother cheated on your dad or not.
I don't think
we can't just gloss over that.
No, it's just an interesting dive into this weirdo, this crazy character.
But it doesn't sound very weird. It sounded like he was an accurate scientist.
No, he wasn't a scientist. He just learned
an accurate electrical engineer.
He wasn't even trained in electrical engineering. He just he taught himself.
He was just he was just a kid who was willing to help people kill others. Like I said, the reason that it's so difficult to get the drugs to kill people in the death penalty is because nobody wants to be associated with that. So you're telling me that this kid was willing to be associated with it, is what you're saying. He was fine with that. Wow. Yeah, definitely. That's really cool. Like, what point are you even trying to make here?
You don't want this banned off YouTube?
No, it'll be banned off YouTube.
But your first question is, I saw this documentary.
You can ask anything you want on YouTube. There are almost no limits, honestly. I could say all kinds of stuff. You know why he thinks that? Because of these ridiculous culture war issues where these people are convinced that they're being persecuted by YouTube or whatever the fuck. It's nonsense. It was always nonsense, always going to be nonsense. Nobody is banned from saying things on YouTube or whatever. Get a grip on reality.
About this super smart guy that says the Holocaust never happened.
I called him smart? I don't think I called him smart.
He sounds smart.
No, he literally just said that he's not smart. He has no formal education in this or anything.
Think?
Yeah.
Well, he was kind of an idiot because he got hoodwinked by the Sundog guy.
He fixed an electric chair.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a certain kind of intelligence, right?
No, it's simple electronics, or it's simple... God, it's not even electronics. It's just circuitry. It's barely electrical engineering.
But he also got hoodwinked by the other guy to convince him to
So
testify.
how do you feel about the Holocaust?
I mean, I don't deny the Holocaust. I'm not a Holocaust denier. The guy...
How many people you think died?
What? Well, I don't know. What's the consensus?
6 million.
6 million is the general consensus.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I this is not like my expertise or my background. I kind of like whatever the narrative is.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing to bring up at the very beginning of an interview.
It is a little weird. I'll give him that. He's totally correct on that one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not mad.
Oh, okay.
But it's like starting an interview with, when do you think a child is really viable?
Yeah, it is a little bit like that.
You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, dude. I'm totally into any topic you want to talk about, but wow.
Yeah.
That's right out of the gate.
Okay.
My
What do you
problem
want to talk about?
No, I'll talk about anything.
Okay.
My thing about genocides and holocausts is...
Wow, dude. What a wild conversation. Yeah, do those deniers think the pictures and videos are fake? FFS. I think it's like flat earth in that most of them don't think that. Most of them probably don't believe what they're saying. They just want to be scumbags. They just want to spread this lie, effectively, in my opinion.
And it's not a very popular subject, but I don't really care. Like, Mao killed 80 million.
Right.
So, like, Ernst Sundel is really into going to Auschwitz and checking, like, the Zyklon B and all this stuff.
Right.
So, okay, you're the guy, right? So me, like, getting into Mao's Great Leap Forward and the 80 million that were killed, like, I'd have to go, like, with a Chinese translator and go through all these things. And that's a valid thing to do. You should question all of these horrific mass murders like Pol Pot, Cambodia, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I mean...
Okay, good. Yes, I appreciate that. I agree. That's a good thing that you feel you don't have the time. And that means that you can rely on experts to get the information that you don't have on this subject, right? That means that you're going to trust that experts are accurate in their assessment and everything, right?
I'm so concerned with today.
Yes.
And the massive corruption that goes on and the rewriting of history, like from last week. Like, we're told that the media had no idea Biden was retarded.
Okay, I don't actually know what this has to do with anything, but I don't care if Biden had some kind of mental condition. I don't believe that he did. But what I care about is whether he was instructing people to violate others' rights and adequately running the country. And he was doing a fine job running the country. So
until 3 days ago.
Right.
And you go, no, that's not true. So I'm definitely open to investigating the Holocaust, investigating Pol Pot, investigating the Armenian Genocide, investigating all of these horrific genocides. Definitely, sure. If I have extra time, I'm definitely going to get to that. But like within the short amount of time I have every day, I'd like to investigate the media's lies about Joe Biden 1 hour ago.
But there weren't any lies about Joe Biden 1 hour ago. What are you even talking about? There's a complete nonsense all the way down.
Uh-huh.
And why are we even talking about Joe Biden still? Did I miss something? Are we like, is this an older interview? Like, what is this about?
And then spread backwards from there.
See, I'm kind of the opposite. I kind of don't give a what's going on in the media today that much.
Really?
Yeah, no.
That's an interesting take.
I feel like,
What's that blue shit in your mouth? What is that?
oh, it's this stuff. It's called methylene blue.
Is that one of your...
Oh my God, dude. He's eating methylene blue. No. Oh my God. These people are nutcases. If you don't know this is like a whole conspiracy thing where methylene blue is supposed to like fix all of your problems or some insane shit. Oh my God. I didn't know that I don't know it was like this walking in. Why should we care about how Joe Biden is as a person? Has he affected history of the country at large? Of course not. Absolutely. Of course he hasn't. No, nobody should give a fuck about Joe Biden. Nobody cares about Joe Biden or what he's up to or whatever. These people are absolutely vile. They are absolutely vile people. An atheist in 2025 with all the knowledge of quantum physics and the fact that God is real? That's a joke, right? First time chatter says that. Tell me that wasn't a joke, because that would be entertaining as hell if it was real. Did you mean that?
Sponsors?
No. They don't sponsor me, but it's blue gene dye.
As one does.
Yeah.
Ingest
It's
blue
supposed to
gene
be-
dye.
Yeah, or it could be fish tank cleaner as well.
Okay. All right.
So are you going to ask why he's taking it or not?
What was I going to say?
I would certainly like to know.
So you don't care about what's going on in the news right now.
I not that I don't care.
Well, he's not going to ask him. Okay. Why are MAGA people taking methylene blue? Okay, it can enhance mitochondrial function and offer various health benefits, particularly cognitive enhancement, according to MAGA. However, the FDA's only approved methylene blue for treating methemoglobinemia, a rare blood disorder. Okay. Methylene blue is not a natural supplement. It is not a brain booster. RFK Jr. has been drinking methylene blue because he thinks that it's good for him. So take that for what you will. Methylene blue is not good for you, not healthy. These people are just in another reality, bottom line. When I hear people say they're chewing on methylene blue or whatever, it's a pretty clear indication that they're Magapotamians or Magadonians, if you will.
I'm just not as interested because it just feels like a big distraction to keep. Don't you feel that way sometimes? That like all the bullshit that you see and all like the 30-second clips on all the news media websites and all the little podcast clips that come out about Biden this, Kamala that, Trump this, blah, blah, blah. Like none of it, like it's just like wash your hands and repeat tomorrow, the next thing. Like we forgot about Trump getting almost assassinated as soon as the Olympic.
We forgot about it? Who the fuck? You got a mouse in your pocket? Who's we? I know Nericol's a big fan of that one.
Thing came out with all the fat trannies jumping around.
Great. We're throwing around slurs. That is fantastic.
Oh, I didn't forget, motherfucker.
Didn't forget, but
That's
most
still
people
in my,
did.
that's in my frontal lobe.
Don't you think, though, that some of this cultural stuff, this culture war stuff that's happening every single day is just purposely to keep us divided so that
Yes, absolutely. Of course. 100%. It is.
whoever's at the top can control us?
Well, it better not be, or I'm out of a job. But my job is to talk about modern culture war shit and how it applies to everything around us. And I mean, you're making me doubt myself, and maybe I should retire. But I think that this is the most important modern culture in the history of America. I mean, outside of this.
What? White people are the most modern, important culture in America or whatever?
Civil War in recent history. Like if Trump didn't win, we were toast. And the fact that Trump won is huge. And now that he's winning, I want to like shine a
I mean, they said that in 2020. If Trump doesn't win, we're toast. And 4 years later, we were just fine. In fact, we're doing well. We're doing well. We're certainly doing better than we are now, economically and otherwise. Our economy is fucked because of what Trump has done since he took power. Thanks to Trump spreading all this nonsense about tariffs.
spotlight on the fact that like we got the Panama Canal back. This is a big deal.
We didn't get the Panama Canal back. And also, okay, even if we did, so who gives a fuck if the Panama Canal is controlled by Panama or the United States? I don't understand why that makes any difference whatsoever to literally anything when Trump is passing tariffs that are destroying the economy, destroying it.
I want to shine a spotlight on detransitioners. These kids who are like, why did you tell me to cut my off?
Yeah.
Nobody told any kids to do that, first of all. Second, the rate of detransition is so absurdly low. It's like almost, it's way lower than people would expect it to be based on like, you know, the demographic and how many people transition and things like that. And also, pretty much nobody transitions below 18. It's such an incredibly tiny number of people.
That I shouldn't have done that. Now, as far as like the Armenian Genocide, yeah, how many people died in the Armenian Genocide? Definitely. Let's check that out at some point.
Armenian Genocide. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but the Armenian Genocide, that shit happened, and it's lied about and covered up today by Turkey. Turkey denies the Armenian Genocide. It's really horrific stuff, honestly. And fascinatingly, Hitler used the Armenian Genocide as the, or let me rephrase, he used the denial of the Armenian Genocide as the basis for committing his own. He saw that the Armenian Genocide, it was possible to deny something so very obvious and clear on a wide scale, and he embraced those tactics to cover up his own crimes.
But right now, I want you to know that, you know, schools are still woke. People are still getting canceled. We still,
But they're not.
haven't won the culture wars. And as Andrew Breitbart said, politics is downstream from the culture. So I want to get, I keep saying on my show, be the culture. Like if someone is at the airport in a wheelchair and they can walk, go, you can walk.
Who the fuck? Okay, first of all, who do you think is riding around in a wheelchair who can actually walk? Second, how would you know that that person can walk unless you personally knew them? And third, why is it any of your fucking business? What a bizarre position. Jesus Christ. What a bizarre position. My Siri just started talking to me and it startled the hell out of me. It's like, like what's going on? I didn't know there was another person in here with me. Little bastard. That's why I unplugged that damn thing, because it does shit like that. So he thinks that people can walk who are in wheelchairs.
Or at a bar, did you tip? Like, and my wife gets so, I hate these things. Go ahead. Play a video. We'll listen.
All right, yeah, we'll take them off.
But my wife goes like,
I'm sorry, what?
Go ahead. Play a video. We'll listen.
All right, yeah, we'll take them off.
But my wife goes like, what are you doing? Why are you getting involved? You're causing a scene. I go, I'm a patriarch. This is a patriarchy. This is my society. So this guy sitting in the wheelchair who isn't paralyzed is my problem.
First of all, no, it isn't. It's not your problem. It's his problem. It's his thing. It's none of your business how people live their lives. And second, how do you know? How do you know that this guy is not paralyzed? How do you know that he... Yeah, and you know what? Why do you care if I want to bring a wheelchair to an airport? Because I want to be able to sit and carry my bags and shit. Maybe I want to sit when I'm waiting around and put my bags in the chair while I'm walking. Did you ever knock that one around? Or hell, maybe I just don't want to fucking walk an 11 square mile airport like Chicago O'Hare Airport is. Seriously. This is one of the worst examples he could have given because it's so ridiculous. Who cares if somebody is in a wheelchair? I don't understand.
That's my wheelchair. And I was in an argument.
Was this on the Disney cruise you saw this?
That's a different thing.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But
you know, when I was little, I've told this story before. I don't know if people listening now have heard it, but when I was, my whole life, my dad's been handicapped. He's been disabled. He's been in a wheelchair since I was 6 or 7. He got in a car accident where his car was just wrecked. The tire was like on top of the engine and everything. It was a mess because a woman ran a red light, and he was in a wheelchair ever since then. So that was from like 6, 7, 8 years old. When I turned 18 or somewhere in that vicinity, 19, 20, I didn't talk to my parents much because I was just fellowshipped. But every now and then, like once a year, I'd go over there and talk to them, you know? And one of those times I go over there, my dad walks into the living room and says, I've been lying to you guys and myself for 11 years. I can really walk. I think I was 7. So I must have been 18 or just maybe 19 because it was like 11 years. But anyway, the point is that he was lying that whole time. He could walk the whole time. Munchausen syndrome is a hell of a drug. And all of those years I spent taking care of him felt like a waste from that moment. All those times he would hold up his water glass and he would just shake it so the ice make a noise. I'd come and grab it and fill his water up for him. All those times I made him an omelet every single fucking morning because he wasn't capable of it. All those times that everything, all that shit that I had to do for him was all a lie. It was just another thing that kind of, another nail in the coffin, another thing that got me. You know, I've said this before. My dad was very, very abusive. And I have my complaints about that. But getting me to take care of you my entire fucking childhood when you didn't need it, that's interesting. And I feel even worse for my mom because he pretended to not be able to take a shower by himself. So the point is, like, that was mental illness. That's mental illness, right? That's nobody's business but his, mine, and my mom's. I mean, nobody's business as in no one has a right to come in and say he's faking. If they want to whisper it to us, they can, but it's none of your business. You don't know my life or his life or anyone else's life or where we are in the process of like trying to get him to admit it or whatever. If he's not really disabled, that's my thing that I will deal with, not yours. Says he's the patriarch of this society. No, you're not. It is a patriarchy. That's accurate. I'm glad he's admitting that finally. But you're not the patriarch of the society, and it's not your place to get into other people's business. I struggled to keep my balance. I was able to walk. So I was able to walk, but it was a high risk of falling over at any given moment. Wheelchair accessibility seriously limited. Yeah. It is 100%. And, you know, like to this day, I have trouble believing people when they tell me that they are disabled or that they have their, you know, hearing problems or whatever other thing. I have trouble believing them because of what my dad did. But I don't go up to people and say, you can really walk. I would never. That's so fucking stupid. That is one of the stupidest things I can imagine somebody ever doing. Walking up to somebody and saying, you can walk, get out of that chair. What is broken in you? I'm in 600 days waiting for disability benefits. Interesting. Well, I'll tell you this. I learned from my dad and my mom how important it is to be persistent. I learned from those people how important persistence is. Persistence wins at the end of the day. And also, I know you don't have a job like a normal fucking human being, but I do. I can't just like stop doing my fucking job. I can walk slowly, not for too long, but I can walk. Does this make me any less disabled? I think you're saying. Like, I feel like there's no reason to even question it. Why would anybody question somebody else's situation? Like, if I saw somebody at an airport in a wheelchair, what reason could I possibly have for involving me in their situation? Maybe they have an autoimmune disorder that makes it difficult to walk for longer than 45 seconds, even if I saw them sprint across the room a minute ago. I don't know their situation. I'm not a fucking doctor. What is wrong with this guy? Mom called me psycho for calling infants and pets the smallest patriots.
That's a different thing.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But there was these Skells at my local bar.
What's that?
Skells is like
Yeah, it's you've never heard the word skells before? Just a bad person, I believe. Just some hooligans. That's probably a good word for it.
A crackhead, loser, junkie,
Okay.
piece of shit. Black guy and his fat white girlfriend.
Okay, I didn't think that race had anything to do with it, but whatever.
And they come in and they want to plug in their phones and they ask for a water. And I go, no, you're not getting a water and you're not plugging your phones. And the barmaid is like, this isn't your bar, Gavin. And I go, is it really not my bar? Like, this is my bar I come to. Is your church not your church? This is your church.
Right.
Say someone is like, I don't know, spray painting you fats on your street. That's my street. You're not going to spray paint that on my street.
Right.
So it's
But it's not your street. It's actually like not owned by you. So this is more akin to somebody being in their own house and spray painting something in their house or on their house. They're minding their own business and it's not your place to involve yourself. Either way, what he's saying is he has a right to involve himself in other people's business. That's the bottom line here. And the fact is you don't. If you want to try to make sure that somebody isn't doing something wrong, like if you want to make sure that, I don't know, people are not, if you want to make sure that people aren't vandalizing something or that people are not like destroying something or whatever, you have the right to do that, and you should do that, definitely, absolutely. But if they're living their fucking lives and doing their thing and you have no, there's no connection to anything, you're just doing your thing or whatever, stay out of it. Leave them alone.
It's my street, it's my bar, it's my church, and it's my airport. Like, I'm in Western society. So you're in a wheelchair in my airport.
In Western society, it's not your airport, it's the public's airport. But even so, it's their business. If they were spray painting on something, I would be all in. I'd be down. Yes. Tell somebody about that. Do something. They're not spray painting things. They're not destroying things. They're living their fucking life. There's a difference.
So be the culture, get involved today. Now, the fact that you seem more interested in the past, I totally respect that. We need historians. But personally, my obsession these days has been like, what are you doing? Why are you wearing Crocs and pajamas at the airport?
Because they fucking feel like it? Really? You're telling me that you don't think people should be allowed to wear Crocs and or pajamas at the airport? What?
And the drunker I get, the more I confront them. And that's not good because I'm going to get stabbed.
You've been knocked out, haven't you? Like, you got knocked out during a...
Oh, yeah, a ton of times, right? He started the Proud Boys. That was part of the deal. You had to be knocked out, I believe.
Yeah. What was that?
I was doing a pilot called The Immersionist. It's a word I invented that's not very sexy. But I'm like, if you're doing journalism, don't sit at your desk Googling. Like,
oh, that's interesting, the immersion. So he invented a word, huh? I invented a word, too. Seriously, the word is charitability. I'm affording this person some charitability while I listen. That's not a word. I think the word is charitableness, or I'm being charitable. Charitability, trying to normalize it.
But I'm like, if you're doing journalism, don't sit at your desk Googling. Like,
you can do whatever the fuck you want if you're doing journalism, right?
Like, go live with them. Go be them.
Right.
In fact, I saw you have Thomas Morton on your eraser board.
Yeah, because we want to get him on the show.
So he took my concept and made it his career, immersionism. Well, when he started at Vice, he was a very high IQ intern that I knew was good.
Again, he invented Vice, or he founded Vice, or whatever. Gavin McInnes did. That is wild, right?
But had zero testosterone, but was willing
Okay.
to do anything. He'd fight Mike Tyson. That's why we call him Baby Balls, because he had a bottle of ketchup he was going to smash on his head, and everyone was like putting down money to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, can stop. Like, the glass on a ketchup bottle is like an inch thick.
Right.
You're going to cut you're not just going to like get a bloody head. You're going to cut your facial muscles and you're going to
Absolutely. 100%. That is such a ridiculously stupid thing to do. Oh my God.
be Jean Chrétien, the Prime Minister of Canada.
You're going to look like the Nazis at the
And,
dueling
yeah, you're going to be like,
With the what scars? Wait, I don't.
Chrétien, the Prime Minister of Canada.
You're gonna look like the Nazis at the dueling.
Yeah, you're going to.
The what scars? I can't understand what he's saying. Have face.
Imagine a time.
Hold on, wait a minute.
And when the ultimate status symbol wasn't a gold medal or a flashy car, but a scar. Step back to the late 19th and early 20th century.
Okay, I've never heard of this before. This is a first.
Imagine a time when the ultimate status symbol wasn't a gold medal or a flashy car, but a scar. Step back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, to a Germany where candlelit halls echoed with the sound of steel against steel. Picture young men, the creme de la creme of German society, crossing blades not for victory, but for a macabre mark of honor, the Schmiss, or dueling scar. These weren't just any scars.
Dueling scars. Interesting.
They were badges of honor, almost akin to modern-day tattoos for the elite. And just like tattoos, not all who wore them were honorable men. Within the opulent chambers and hallowed halls of German universities, young aristocrats, scholars, and members of student fraternities would engage in mensur or academic fencing duels. Forget the modern fencing swords or gear. German students wielded the Mensurschlager, a blade tailored more like a razor, designed specifically to leave a mark. But these were not the contests of Hollywood lore. Here they didn't duel for victory, but for these marks of courage. The goal? Not to defeat, but to stand steadfast, embracing the blade's sting with stoicism. Every slash was not just a cut on their face, but a testament to their mettle and courage. Statesmen like Otto von Bismarck even considered these scars a testament to a man's bravery.
That is fascinating. I did not know that. Bismarck was the leader of Germany, the German states. In the early days, he was the chancellor or whatever, one of the political leaders, remember correctly. That's fascinating.
Some believed it made them prime husband material. The sport's roots trace back to the 16th century, when students could carry swords for protection, leading to many duels and eventually the birth of this regulated sport. These scars, rugged slashes often running down a cheek or across the forehead, became coveted emblems of bravery. In a bizarre twist of vanity and valor, some who weren't fortunate enough to receive a noticeable scar during dueling would turn to self-infliction or even solicit physicians to craft that perfect mark. In elite circles, a face etched with these scars was not gruesome but mesmerizing. These slashes hinted at tales of bravery, becoming as fashionable as a well-tailored suit.
Wow, that's really interesting. I've never heard of that before, surprisingly. You know that YouTube, I could be wrong here, so don't quote me, but I believe that YouTube has decided that they're not going to allow, or they're not going to monetize AI content anymore. That's interesting, right? I am all in favor of AI stuff, but I think I agree with that. I think I agree with that decision. I know that like when I was, I uploaded a video a while back. It got like 2, 3, 4 million views or something like that on YouTube. And a bunch of AI channels started ripping it off. Like they straight up copied my script word for word and then changed the voice to an AI voice and re-uploaded it, which is against the law. Like, you can't do that.
Jean Chrétien, the Prime Minister of Canada.
You're going to look like the Nazis at the dueling.
Yeah, you're going to be like, they made me smash a bottle of ketchup on my head. And I'm like, stop, dude. And I had to hold the ketchup bottle. And then this dude, Trevor Simser, Andrew WK's manager, goes, that guy's got balls. He's little, but he's got balls. He's baby balls. So he became baby balls forever. But
I mean, he doesn't have balls. He has no brain. It was really, really stupid of him to do such a thing or to even suggest it or whatever. Ridiculous. AI has good and bad uses like anything else. Just few people who excessively use it to make a quick buck. I don't have a problem with people using it for literally anything. I think it's fine, but some uses are really poor. They're like really badly done. And theft is not okay. Like, somebody used AI to straight up steal my script and create somebody like, you know, a text-to-speech version of someone else reading my words. And it was bizarre to hear my words, word for word, quoted, coming out of somebody else's mouth. Anyway, like, there's a lot of low-effort, low-quality shit that comes out of AI use. But then there's also a lot of really cool shit that comes from AI use that I really like and I think is awesome and should definitely be, you know, exist. So I guess it's kind of a toss-up. Depends on how you're using it. In that case, I'm not blaming AI for the problems. I'm blaming the loser that's using it poorly for the problems. You know.
What I did with baby balls, I was like, all right, like Puerto Ricans in New York, major part of New York.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Us upper middle class whites don't really know them. Although I do know, I don't know how raunchy we can get in this show, but
You can get as raunchy as you want. We'll probably
the
censor it
same
so
guy,
you
Trevor, and his buddy Mark Ryan, they were like, how come we lived in New York for like 20 years? No one's ever f***ed Puerto Rican. And they go, let's start f***ing Puerto Ricans. So they go,
Let's start doing what to Puerto Ricans?
they go up to them on the train and they're like, hi, my name is Trevor. Hi, my name is Mark. What's your name? And like, yo, I'm f***ing Maria. What's up? And then
I don't understand. What's the joke? I use AI to make images from my mind. It's therapy to me. I've prompted up some really nice images. Yeah. It's really fun. It's entertaining. It's interesting. And people who don't know how to draw now have a creative outlet for their whatever. And I know people are like, we'll just pick up a pencil. It's not as simple as picking up a pencil, and you know that as well as I do. It takes literal years to get good enough to put your thoughts and feelings down on paper adequately. And a lot of people, they don't have the luxury of spending hours a day for years learning to draw. I know that you have all the time in the world to do that, but some of us have to work 2 jobs to survive, so go fuck yourself. If people want to come up with a creative outlet like using AI to kind of create their own experiences, then they should be able to do that. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's enjoyable, it's interesting. Why do you care what other people are doing with their time, with their lives? Anyway, that's kind of my take. All right, let's continue.
they cross streams where these cultures weren't meant to be together. So Mark is fucking one of them, and he feels like something going on. So he fishes his finger in there. He pulls out a condom.
Oh boy.
From another guy.
Oh.
And she's got pigtails and she's chewing gum and she's like this. And he goes, holy shit. And he goes back to work.
Yeah.
But he's like, I just found a condom in there. And she goes, I know, that's bugged out, right? And I'm like, all right, we're not meant to be together.
I don't believe it. That's a little too far-fetched for me. A little too ridiculous for me to believe. I'm just not buying it. I'm buying this as one of those ridiculous, crude stories that my dad would tell because he thought it was funny.
We're very different. So.
Oh, I see. And so wait, is the point that she was black? I didn't even catch that she was black. And he's saying that the cultures are too different between black people and white people for that reason. What a colossal sack of shit.
When Baby Ball.
Oh, Puerto Rican. Okay.
Started the advice, I go, let's live with these people. So we set up a thing where he lived with like a Puerto Rican family in the project. I think they might have been Dominican, same difference.
Thomas lived
a little
with them?
blacker. Yeah. And, you know, it was a really cool expose on how different these cultures are. Like one thing they do is they don't want roaches. So when they have a pizza, they put it in the sink and then they.
Oh, let me guess. Let me just take a guess here. I'm going to bet that he's going to claim that Puerto Ricans are dirtier than white people naturally, inherently, right? What he's describing is fictitious, but if it were real, just assume for a moment that it were real. There are differences in various different things between races. Like there's a disparity between the black community and the white community in how much crime is committed and what types of crime is committed and generational wealth and things like that. So that can be the result of one of two things. That is either because there are societal problems, societal disparities responsible for this. Like the black community has no generational wealth, and wealth or poverty is the number one indicator of crime. And, you know, the black community has just very recently been capable of generating generational wealth. That's an example. It's either societal, in which case it can be fixed, or it's genetic, in which case you are a Nazi. You believe that people are just genetically inferior. That's what Nazis believed, and you're a Nazi. Just embrace that. So all of these examples of how these races are inferior to white people that he's giving us. He's implying that it's because they're genetically inferior. But when pushed on it, he would probably say, oh, just a culture problem, man. It's a culture problem over anything, you see.
Do is they don't want roaches, so when they have a pizza, they put it in the sink, and then they soak it, and then they roll it into a tube and put it in the garbage.
Who the fuck are you? What are you talking about? Who soaks pizza in the sink and then puts it in the garbage? Why would anybody do that? What are you smoking? I'm from Manhattan. I lived in Manhattan for years. I've never heard of anybody doing this. And by the way, I had roaches, and it was bad. Oh my God, it was so fucking bad. I would wake up in the morning and I would see like 3 of them in my bed, and that was the moment I was like, fuck it, I'm done with this. I'm not doing it anymore. I am going to a hotel room until we find a solution to this problem. And I got diatomaceous earth. Is that what it's called? Diatomaceous earth? It's this powder. And I sprinkled it all over fucking everything. And went to a hotel for 2 days and sprayed everything with all kinds of chemicals. When I came back, they were gone. So the point is that roaches is just part of living in New York City, unfortunately. There's just nothing you can do about that. But to claim that, like, these people groups handle roaches differently and that means that they're dirtier and that they're evil or whatever other stupid shit, get a grip on reality, man, really. That's good for fleas, too. Yeah, diatomaceous earth is apparently, it's just a powder, but it's like little glass shards that hook into the legs of bugs, generally bugs, and when they groom themselves like they do, like as cats do or whatever, they're basically swallowing these little glass shards, and it cuts up the inside of their digestive system and kills them. And also dehydrates them. It sucks the moisture out of the air, and so yeah, it definitely destroys unwanted pests. It's really good stuff. Just checking here. Like, if you wanted to stop roaches, you wouldn't soak pizza in water? I've never heard of that before. Just put some diatomaceous earth around the trash can, or in the trash can, or on the pizza, or wherever. Has anybody ever heard of anyone soaking pizza in water? That one is new to me, honestly. Oh, he meant to say the box of pizza. Okay, that would make a little bit more sense, I guess. Yeah, all right, that checks out. Sprinkle diatomaceous earth all over it. That's all you got to do. It's good for bed bugs, too. It's good for everything.
Some junkie uncle was there sleeping all day.
Some junkle, would you say?
Anyway, Baby Balls went on to have a pretty good career as an immersionist. And I think that's an important part of like modern culture is like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what an immersionist is. He said that he invented this word earlier, but I still don't think that he like defined it or whatever. Dude, this is such a beautiful game. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? This scenery? It's like if people looked at this image just like this in a vacuum outside of a game, they would recognize it as being as beautiful as it really is. But since it's in a game, they don't recognize it as beautiful. It's kind of interesting. I don't know.
And we don't do that anymore. We don't know anything about each other, which is why you have this woman where white women like watch these movies where there's a bunch of Klansmen who were like, looky here, boys.
Oh, yeah. And of course, he's in favor of the Klan, right? He thinks that the Klan wasn't so bad.
This black lady thinks she could be a scientist. Not on my watch. Meanwhile, if there's a black woman that wanted to be a scientist, everyone would be off like, come on in, come on.
That bullshit. No, that's not true. You think that the KKK did not prevent people from like following their dreams from becoming scientists or whatever? What are you smoking?
On in. Do I sound crazy?
2 questions. A, what are you smoking? And B, can I have some?
Crazy right now?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Okay, so
white women like to watch.
White women like to watch movies and commercials where black women are geniuses and white men are complete idiots.
Oh,
I've never heard this before. I don't know what you're referring to. Do you have an example?
okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like camp.
Games are art. I love Rebirth. Can't wait for part 3. Absolutely agree. 100%. Games are art. Not just in the art, like the beautiful scenery that you get to see here, but also in being an overall generalized piece of artwork in its own right. In addition to being art in that way, I find it fascinating that a lot of this is all computer generated, this stuff. Some people designed like, the textures, but the river flowing, that's generated. That's AI generated. All of this stuff is AI generated, and everyone recognizes this as art. But for some reason, something breaks in their head where they don't view it as art if it was generated by a computer rather than like a human being sitting there and drawing it all out. I don't know. Like a human didn't generate the sunset, but the sunset is artistic and beautiful still, right?
Put the furniture together, and the black woman comes in and she's like, it's called an alley key, moron.
Right.
And then that's in their sitcoms and in their soap operas and in their movies.
Yeah, that's how they try to make Hollywood diverse, right?
Right. Like Sinners, the new movie Sinners. It's these magical Negroes who
here we go.
work with vampires, and then the KKK is like, not on my watch, boy. Which may have been true at some point, but it's not who we are.
So he's saying that the KKK doesn't exist like it used to.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the Super Bowl commercials last year? There were some interesting ones.
Yeah, I'm sure I did.
I assume he's referring to Kanye's, because Kanye had a Super Bowl commercial where he basically was selling swastika t-shirts during the Super Bowl. You guys remember that? Let the mouse out of your pocket, right? Exactly.
There was the one with Tom Brady and who else was it? It was like an Israeli commercial. It was paid for by Israel, wasn't it?
Okay, I don't know what he's referring to here, but here's the thing. I am very pro-Palestine, very pro-Palestine. But when these people talk shit about Israel, these people, specifically these two on screen, they're not doing it because they're pro-Palestine or they want human rights to be expanded. They're doing it because they fucking hate Jews. So let's see how this turns out.
Are we going back to the Holocaust again? Is this like a anti-Semitic hit piece?
No, it's not anti-Semitic. What was this commercial?
The guy hasn't done anything anti-Semitic so far as I can tell. Or let me rephrase. The discussions that this dude that we're looking at here has brought up so far have not been directly anti-Semitic. Only the things that Gavin has said have been anti-Semitic. So I'm not sure what he's talking about.
Yeah, play it. What was this? I could be wrong. I might just be projecting my own.
With Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, that's it. No, maybe that's not it. That's it. With yeah, this is it right here. The no hate one. Play this one.
I hate hate.
Put your. Have you seen this?
Hate is one of my pet peeves.
Have you seen this right here? That's this commercial.
I don't know.
Play it for him.
I hate you because we're from different neighborhoods.
I hate you because you look different.
I hate you because I don't understand you.
I hate you because people I know hate you.
Wait, can we just pause it here?
Yeah, pause it.
So Snoop Dogg is from Compton.
Yes.
Everyone in his community hates everyone else for being from the wrong neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he doesn't think that's right exactly. Yeah, it's called trying to solve problems. Yeah, we live in a bad world. Is that a reason to not try to fix the world because it's bad? What are you talking about?
Chinese, even probably different black neighborhoods.
Right.
So he's mocking that culture. That's his culture. Tom Hardy.
That's his culture?
Tom Brady, sorry. His neighborhood masturbates to the concept of any other neighborhood giving a fuck about them. And they would love, like, if they went to Harlem and they got high-fived, they would ejaculate in their pants. So this is such horseshit. Mm-hmm. Snoop Dogg is lampooning this fictional black dude who is him, and Tom Brady is lampooning this dude who's not even remotely close to him. That's the thing that drives me nuts about this crusade against like Christian white heterosexual males. We need to expose their racism because it's latent. I've known a lot of different demographics over the years. They are the least racist group I've ever come across in my life.
Who's he talking about? White people? Or I missed it.
Maybe to a fault. But like this guy and all his friends if a black dude showed up to a party, I mean, he might get, it'd be like the Beatles in 1950. Like, he might have his clothes ripped off. But then he's like, I don't like blacks. They totally suck, dude.
Finish playing it. I want to see what go to the end of it.
Because I need someone to blame.
Because you talk different.
Because you act different.
Because you're just different.
Reasons for hate are as stupid as they sound. That's absolutely true. Racism is taught. It is not something that you're born with. A lot of people don't realize that, but racism is something that people have to pick up from those around them. It says the reasons for hate are as stupid as they sound.
You're as stupid as they
Man,
sound.
I hate that things are so bad.
What's
that
on
we
your
have to do a
head?
commercial about it.
Stand up to hate. Look, paid for by the Foundation to Combat Anti-Semitism. Okay, that's why I was right. I'm not crazy.
Okay, I don't actually have a problem with that video. That was fine. I don't understand. What was the problem? That was the ad paid for by, like, God, it doesn't even seem... He said paid for by Israel. I don't think that was paid for by Israel. That sounds like it was just paid for by, like Jewish people or whatever, no?
Take your headphones.
Retarded. You know, the problem with these ADL, SPLC things is, like, they give Jews a really bad name.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was in charge
The ADL does. The ADL is awful.
of Jews, I'd be like, all right, first of all, ADL is abolished, SPLC is abolished. Like, Ye says...
Like, the SPLC is really good, actually. The ADL's bad. They're awful.
The Jews control the banks, and they freeze his bank accounts.
Right.
If I was in control of Jewish PR, I'd be like, guys, let him rant. Let him run. Enjoy it. Like, we're validating everything he says. I remember, who's that guy? He was Sid Vicious and Sid and Nancy, but he was in a Playboy interview. He's a British guy. And he was like, you know, if I said that the Jews control Hollywood, I'll be forced to apologize the next day. He was severely canceled the next day.
Well, it's because they don't control Hollywood. Let me rephrase. There are some Jewish people at the top of industry in, like, Warner Bros., for example, but there isn't some secret cabal that, like, controls things and won't let you, like, work in the industry unless you pledge allegiance to Israel or whatever other nonsense these people seem to think. This is delusion. It's Nazi delusion. They live in fear of their own shadows.
And forced to apologize to the ADL. Okay, well, you just proved his point, guys. Chill out. Meanwhile, as a white man, we are defecated upon every day, and we just go, meh, as dad.
This is nonsense. White people are persecuted in the United States. Give it a rest. God, their persecution complex is absolutely untouchable.
Ads were defecated upon every day. We're defecated upon every day. We go, meh.
Where do you live right now?
In Westchester, a suburb of New York. About
you lived in New York for how long?
20 years.
For 20 years.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's, like, why do you feel like that? You feel like you're with the white man, the white Christian man's being shit on.
Wait, so hold on. You start this whole thing about how the Holocaust didn't happen.
I didn't say the Holocaust didn't happen. I was telling
Yeah, I don't think I've picked up anything anti-Semitic from this guy so far. I think that, what's his name is reading into it. Gavin McInnes, he's definitely reading into this, like, way, way more than is warranted. That's funny.
Super right-wing dude, and now you're like, why are you so obsessed with white dudes?
Yeah.
Are you like
I'm curious.
Are you like a left-wing anti-Semite?
I didn't get the impression that he's an anti-Semite at all. Did anyone else get that?
No, I'm not an anti-Semite.
Where do I peg you? I don't think you can argue that if you watch commercials that white Christian heterosexual males are the whipping post of modern.
I don't see that. Maybe it's because I live in Florida.
Are you doing it like a character?
No. Are you doing a character?
No.
You're the guy.
Pull up dude. Go to live TV right now.
I don't watch live TV. Maybe that's
commercial, and there'll be some buffoon white guy trying to assemble an IKEA table while a black woman is like, okay.
This is just nonsense. He's looking for reasons to feel persecuted. It's trash.
Didn't Trump just put somebody in his cabinet that's like in charge of like bolstering Christianity in America?
Yeah, an hour ago. That does
An
not
hour ago. This was
count.
like at least a month and a half ago.
Well, I appreciate that this guy is like pushing back against the nonsense that McInnes is laying down here, but it's not enough.
Sorry, a month and a half ago.
Isn't that good for white Christian people?
No, it's that bad. I think that here's the analogy I always use. In my home, in my homestead.
Yes.
I don't even know what that word means. Does that mean like a commune in your own house?
I don't know what homestead means.
If my children were to fart on my wife, they'd be in big trouble. You don't fart on mom.
Right.
If you fart on me, it's funny.
Right.
You got me.
Okay.
That was super stinky. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Because I can take it. My wife is the woman of the house, and she's, I don't know, she's not tough. So you can't punch her. You can punch me. We could do a thing. You can punch me 3 times, I'll punch you once.
Right, right.
My wife would never sit there with our kids being like, okay, you punch me 3 times, I'll punch you once.
Right.
So I think that's indicative of a patriarchy, and it's indicative of modern society where I think we're buttholes on all commercials and in geopolitics and everything else because we can take it. And we're like, okay, yeah, I get it. And here's, I'm off at a tangent now, but here's something I've noticed with comedy.
Dude, I'm so confused by the shit that he's saying right now. Like, what is he talking about?
They want to be controversial. They can't be racist. They can't mock Judaism. They can't mock Islam. They can sort of mock Christianity, but it's bad for business. So they tend to make really inappropriate child jokes, which I'm
Who is he talking about?
fine with if that's your thing. You're like the controversial show. But you got to spread it out with like racism and other very controversial things. But if you watch like SNL, the only time they get dangerous is like an incestuous mother who's in love with her 20-year-old son. And it ends up being this imbalance where kids are the only people we can f with. And that's gross.
I don't understand what he's talking about. I've never heard of this before.
If you're going to do controversial comedy, you got to spread the diarrhea around on every
What is wrong with him? What are you going on about and why?
religious group, old people, ageism, sexism, homophobia. Like you got to spread it all around. But the way it's going these days is it's just like, I want to fuck a kid, which, okay.
Really?
Who is saying that?
I've never seen any comedy like that.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I haven't been around comedy as long as you have, but I've watched a lot of comedy specials, been to a lot of comedy shows, but like...
Here's an example. SNL had this like quizzy game show. I'm sure you could find.
I don't watch it.
And it was like the Newlyweds game type of show.
Okay.
And that was big in the 80s. Like, what's the craziest place you and your husband ever made whoopee?
Yeah, that's the Newlywed Game. I remember watching that. It was really stupid.
They called it whoopee back then. And one of the women was like, in the bum? And everyone's like, what the f? We met a crazy
Right. What location? I remember that. That's famous, actually.
location, bitch. So they were kind of parroting that. And it was, the couples were all weird, but they were, normal. And then one of the couples was a mother and her son. And her son was like, I don't know, 19 in the sketch. Very gross, very weird, but you're like, okay, I'm watching the gross, weird comedy show.
Wait, the son was 19. They did a parody of that, and the son was 19. Okay, that doesn't sound like taking advantage of children then. That's a completely different category. I'm not sure what he's even talking about. He's telling a story of a single example of a comedy sketch that doesn't even match up or prove what he's saying.
I can handle that. But the next joke better be the most racist shit I've ever seen.
Right.
And the next joke better be the most anti-Semitic shit I've ever seen. But they're too scared of those. So now when you see controversial comedy, it's just like kid shit. Which is disgusting.
Again, I don't know what he's talking about.